This is it right here. Tazadoctrine.
Google Tazadoctrine.
Like a man, gird up your loins. Tazadoctrine. We love Kahan. Stand strong like a man, gird up your loins. Tazadoctrine. We love Kahan. Welcome to Tazadoctrine's didactic empowerment. You're about to embark on a journey that's going to give you a revolution of your mind. Most people think that relationship struggles are personal. They think it's a bad choice or bad choices, bad partners, bad timing. But what if I told you modern relationships aren't failing by accident? What if the tension between men and women that you're seeing all over social media is being shaped by systems much bigger than both of them? You heard? Welcome to Tazadoctrine's didactic empowerment, where we break down culture, religious doctrine, psychology, family and law, structure, economic control system, historical frameworks is actually shaping modern society, and institutional influence. This is a revolution of your mind. This is Tazadoctrine. Peace, two fingers, and I'm going to leave that in the air. You dig? Peace, shalom, hotep, and all that good stuff. Welcome to episode 2, Tazadoctrine's didactic empowerment. On this podcast right here, I don't just discuss relationships. We discuss history, religious doctrine, the law and culture, economics, and psychology. Everything you need, it's on this platform right here. I give it to you raw and uncut. Go ahead and smash that like button and tell a friend they need to be listening to Tazadoctrine's didactic empowerment to get empowered. Why? Because a manipulated mind is a terrible thing to keep. You heard? Let's start off by saying peace. And I'm going to leave that in the air for now, but it can't be no peace until we get rid of all of this confusion. And in times of peace, prepare for war, because peace doesn't last forever. So I'm going to talk to you all today about everybody thinks relationship problems are personal. But what if I told you that the problems that you're having in your relationship, I'm talking to you too, is environmental? You ever heard that slogan? You're a product of your environment. That is realer today than it's ever been. That's realer today than it's ever been. So I need you to really pay attention to what I'm saying right here, because what I'm giving you is didactic for your continuation of a sound mind, if you currently have one, because we don't know where this world is going, and that's on everything. So the relationship problems, you see how, check social media, right? You're probably in a relationship right now, and it was like a stage play. When the relationship started out, she was putting time into you, but then you got complacent. I'm talking to you, my dude. You got weak. You understand? You started chasing her instead of chasing your purpose, and she started pulling back. And you wasn't paying attention because you got too comfortable. And so one of the primary issues with that is you're a product of the environment. The environment, social media, social circles, feminist movements, men that's on that different type of time. You understand what I'm talking about? The so-called woke culture time. The alternative lifestyle time. You understand what I'm talking about, right? First of all, I'm not jacking none of that. And no one's going to impose something on me that I'm just not jacking. If you don't understand that language, that I'm not accepting, that I'm not really, I'm not going to conform, because that's one of the main problems is conformity. And a lot of you're conforming, but not at your own accord. It's psychological engineering that's at play, and they're working on your subconscious every time you see a billboard sign, every time you see something on social media. You see Eve, she's looking over her shoulder like this, and her buttocks is facing the camera. But she'll say something like, "Oh, I mean, I'm having a you know what I mean? I'm having a wonderful day. I'm at a peace of mind." But what she's saying, the text doesn't collaborate with the energy that she's really depicting. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it's a no-brainer. But she doesn't even realize she's a product of her environment. There's systems in place that's designed to turn the man against the woman and the woman against the man. And this has gotten out of control. So now Eve is saying, yo, I don't need a man. Really? Can you imagine a society where no men? Let's keep it funky for a second, right? I would say 97% of what you use on a daily basis was put together by a man. The bare essential from the internet. You understand what I'm talking about? To your electricity and so on and so forth. So if we go, all that goes. I mean, so sometimes and it's really not your fault. You dig? It's really not your fault. But it's because you're not really peaking game. You think you're thinking from your own accord. And this may sound insulting, but you need a wake-up call, Mom. Because chances are, even an institution of higher learning that you went to was created by a man. So how you going to be in opposition with the ones that educated you? Well, but your education hasn't been proper. Neither has his. Because he's becoming more like you, and you're becoming more like him. He's becoming feminized. Men in today's society, man. A lot of cats came on my show. I talk to them like I talk to a real man. If a man tell me something like, yo, you screwing up and so on and so forth, and he talk to me like a man, I'm going to be like, I bet. I wear that. I'm not going to get all emotional and blown out of proportion, blown out of place. I wear that. Case in point. I done a podcast joint. And I sent it to my man's Big. Shout out to Big, man. Shout out to my man Bigger, man. Shout out to my man Bigger, man. Harlem stand up. But Big was basically like, I ain't jacking that. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna wear that because I wasn't really feeling it either. At least he was honest. You dig? But in today's society, they switching it up like, yo, his son is screwing up, he looking weak. They throw him a pity party. Everybody feeling sorry for him, so nothing never changed. So you're products of your environment. But you got environmentalists that's operating behind the scenes through these screens right ahead, right? Pretty much governing by way of your subconscious mind what you think you want, what you think you like, and so on and so forth. It's something that you know, if you could think for yourself, that would have been right for you, that make you think and make you believe Nice. No, I mean, yeah, he's nice, but it doesn't even make sense. And as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So you're products of this environment. Well, so the culture. Let's talk about the culture. We got a different kind of culture. Hip hop culture is fading. Right? I came up in the hip hop culture, right? That's fading. What they pushing now? But the culture is about what the systems want it to be about. You're no longer thinking for yourselves. So the culture that's being pushed now is Me Too. It's a woman's world. Girl power. Woman power. And so on and so forth, right? And at the same time, there's a spirit of Cain, right? Two spirits in the world, two patriarchs that still ruling the world. I'm hit you with something. No matter what women think, I need you to remember this. Patriarchs are going to always rule. Men are going to always rule the world, but it's a matter of which type of men. And I'm telling you, you think you want the way it's heading, that spirit of Cain, but you really don't want that. Because that's deceptive intelligence. Right? It's making you justify your wrongdoings and make evil fear seeming. So they're telling you don't need the man. They move the men out of the way, the real men, because that's what they're trying to do. Any kind of man that's masculine, and you can't say masculine, a man without saying masculine, because you're dealing with etymology that's part of being a man. Right? But the very phrase itself, masculine, they try and throw toxic in front of it. So you're telling me it's bad to be a man. But no one has a problem with toxic masculinity, as they call it, when there's beef. You don't have problems with toxic masculinity when someone's trying to kick in your door. You make that phone call and you pray that a man is showing up. You don't have problems with toxic masculinity when it's time to go to war. Huh? But you got a problem with a man being a man because societies and systems have attempted to push it as a norm that men are be more effeminized and women be more masculine. See, the very moment that a woman saying she's being masculine, you're taking yourself out of your genetic makeup, your nature. By nature, we're different. Genetically, we're different. We think differently. Well, we're just total different creatures. And that's for good reasons. So when you go against that, you get the chaos that we're living in today. A lot of broken homes, women acting like they hate men, men acting like they hate women. I mean, this is like really growing out of control. And at the same time, you think it's something that you really want, but you're engineered to think that way. We're really living in a matrix. So you're a product of your environment, and the culture is pushing that. It's systemic. Elevate her above him. Let's teach and preach independence, that she don't need him. And if we get them out of the way, if we get these alphas out of the way, then we can control the world. And we can have the type of world, understand that we want a rainbow world where anybody could do anything. Anything goes. I'm not jacking that. So real men, if you ain't jacking that, you need to comment below. I'm not jacking that either. The other thing, expectation shapes behavior. So they teach her to expect. You don't need him. You need a man that's on your level. A man that has a degree in whatever field of endeavor. A man just working in corporate America. How's that working out for you? Because Shanae want that same man. And Shanae is getting EBT. And in this society, Big Shirley want that same man. Big Shirley's 150, 200 pounds overweight, but she feels entitled to that same man. Why? Because you got systems in place that make them believe you're entitled. They have a false sense of entitlement. I see it on the set, right? It's motorcycle set. I seen dudes, like, pressure. I'm talking about pressure, my dude. Real pressure, my guy. I'm at this bike night, and I seen some was pressing up hard on this Eve that she was a 2 at best. And some was like, yo, I'm trying to get with you tonight. She shot him down with the quickness. Like, yo, you got some money in your saddlebags? And I had to call my guy. I was like, yo, my man, come over here, because this is unbelievable. Like, these motorcycle dudes, yo, I'm not saying all motorcycle dudes is like that. I'm not saying that. Just the cats that I saw, I'm like, yo, these dudes is like, this is Simp Nation right here, hard body. So I'm like, yo, this gotta be something, because this is different right here. This is different. Because Shorty is a 2 at best, and she playing high post, and he pressing up. These Eves, this motorcycle, this female motorcycle set, social club came up, and all of them was twisted, and these dudes pushing up like an exercise. You heard? I'm like, wow. So I called my man the Beam, and me and him laughing. I'm like, yo, this is different. So but the environment, you understand what I'm saying? These expectations that they're creating is shaping their behavior. So you got, before this whole internet and social media thing, you got Eves that dudes wouldn't even have given a glance. That's playing high post now. And so the other thing is behaviors create conflict. So they got Eve saying, I don't need a man. Well, and so it's conflicting with men. So men finally vote men, well, not because, let's face it, 80% of dudes today is raised by a single parent. Need I say more? And you wonder why they so emotional? And so check this out right here, sis. The same men that you discredit, that you got a problem with, who raised them? Holla back. Nah, don't holla back. Matter of fact, whisper. It's more appropriate. So, the behaviors are creating conflicts. Why? Because she's becoming more masculine. I'll give you an example of what I'm speaking about, right? If a woman is an attorney, if she's an attorney, then she's used to being domineering. She's used to dominating people and telling people what to do. She doesn't turn that off when she go home. I'm just not buying that. I don't buy that. So when she goes home, if she is with a guy, the guy 9.5 times out of 10 will have to be subservient to her. Because she's accustomed to directing people, telling people what to do, giving orders. And so a masculine guy is not going to go for that. From the inception, if I feel a woman is being overly masculine, despite how attractive she is, I'm falling back. Because it creates no polarity. And without polarity, you don't have no real connection. You understand what I'm saying? It retracts. How many you dudes, yo, put below, if you met a female, you saw her from a distance, and she was like, yeah, she looked like, Shorty looked it right, right? She looked it right. But you pressed up, and you started talking to her, her energy, you just wasn't vibing. So you slid. I did that many times, man. So now, incentives. Let's talk about that. They create incentives that's also causing a breakdown of the relationships. I talked about this in the first podcast. You have both parents out of the home. Now, mind you, most homes today, which is woefully sad in the United States, are being raised by a single parent. When there's two people there, the woman now wants to work. She said, well, I'm not going to sacrifice my career. And she feels entitled to that. So, I mean, yeah, my man. I'm not being with a woman like that. She want to work on her career. You go over there and be with son. Well, you go over there and be with him because I'm a busy guy. I'm working on my purpose. Everybody got to play their part. Now, some of you can put negative comments because you're being groomed by systems without thinking. But it comes back to bite you in the butt in the end. When you get older, ma, when you get older, sis, you regret a lot of the decisions that you think you're making right now because you're really not making them. It's social engineering at its best. So you'll regret that later. And some people, they regret it, but they're so bitter, they don't admit it. And a lot of you dudes, you sacrifice your purpose because you wanted to be with a certain Eve, right? And then she micromanage your life. You used to hang out and kick it with your mans, and now you don't even do that anymore. You just fell back completely. I know a lot of dudes, once they get with a certain female, they think, yo, shorty, that's just the one right here. And he falls back. He ain't hanging out, he ain't kicking it. He doesn't do anything he used to do. Everything is into her. And when she peeped that, she felt like she's in control. Her level of attraction starts to go down, down, down. And all of a sudden, she's disrespecting him. Because it's not in her nature to respect a man that really doesn't have a purpose. Now, you can write down, understand, believe it or not. But I'm not here to say what you like. I'm here to teach the truth. This is Tazadoctrine at its fullest. Then there's delayed marriage, right? Eve saying, maybe I'll get married when I'm in my 30s. Hold on. Haven't you heard? By the time you hit 35, that's a high-risk pregnancy right there. And so, a lot of children are being born, and doctors are not going to tell you this, man, because listen, man, it's all about commerce. Many of the problems that you experience in the world today is because of the infliction of commerce. Everything, when you look at it, you got to start looking at it, is that from the whole child support system, child custody, the whole court system is for a profit, right? These people, these are jobs. It's not necessarily about making your life better. I'm just give it to you real. Someone's got to be able to tell you, I'm just that dude to give it to you. 100. You understand? These are jobs. And so in order for them to maintain a job, they got to keep people in the system. Yeah, social service got to keep people in the system. Is it really there to make lives better? Not really. How many children that you know that's been through social service and was put in foster homes and it was abused? I'm talking to someone right now. Stop me where I'm lying at. So these are jobs from police departments. And so when the law breaks the law, Houston, we got a problem. But that's what it is. And these type of topics are censored. You're not allowed, or you're becoming political. No, I'm speaking truth and facts. And the reason you don't want us to speak on this is because you got to keep the sleeping giants asleep. But this is Tazadoctrine. I'm here to wake you up. And you could take it or let it alone. But because you reject the truth, doesn't make it false. It's still the truth. So dual income takes both parents out of the home. Then Eve is delaying to get married. And so men are saying, yo, I'm peeping my guy right here. He got married. He worked all of his life to get where he was. And he was kind of good. He had his Bitcoins. He had his 40, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? He had his IRA and all of this. And he was going to be all right for retirement. And out of nowhere, son came home one day and Shorty was like, I want a divorce. And when Eve tells you that, usually she already got somebody else. You say, what are you talking about? What are you banging on? No, I'm not. Stop me where I'm lying at. 75% of marriages are ended by a woman. You can't even call me a liar. Lollipops know that, and they still get played. They still push up the ring. They go and get married. You know what I mean? She dropping babies. Some of them. Because you got some Eves out here that don't want to get pregnant. She's focused on her career. And usually she has to be with a submissive dude. Because a masculine dude that's on his purpose is just not, he's not going to go for that. He's just not going to tolerate it. So she gets with a man that she's really not attracted to because he's submissive, and she complain about how there's no good men. No, there are good men, but the good men are not willing to accept what you want to do. It's just the way it is. Now, you may not like what I'm saying, but I'm giving you the truth. And if you accept this truth, you have a chance to change it up, because the system doesn't care about you, and the system doesn't care about men. The system care about the division, because why? Division and controversy creates income. It runs you into the court systems. Right? A woman could scream rape, and it may not even be true. Son get a protective order on him. He might go to prison for something he didn't even do. Or she could just say he hit me and she lied. I've seen it done. You got a restraining order, can't go around his children. That's not justice. You think the system don't know that a lot of these females are capping? It's all about the moolah. It's all about the money. Now you can say this is a conspiracy theory, but it's not. Because I know a lot of brothers, I know a lot of dudes that this happened to. And because you turn your head that other way doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Career first. It's another type of time that Eve is on. Career first. I need to focus on my career. And then I'll consider having children or maybe be in a relationship. So what is she doing? She's on a carousel. You know that? Mary goes around and around and around. Oh, there's Tom. There's Dick. There's Harry. There's Ray Ray. You dig? The best years of her life, she's on the carousel. You know what I'm talking about? 35. See, something happened when a woman hits 30. She goes into a mild state of depression. And it happens again when she hits 40. But only when she hits 40, she's trying to get crazy busy. Because she's concerned now, and I'm not putting women down, I'm just telling you the truth. She's concerned about menopause may come in, so she starts having wild sex like crazy. Stop me where I'm lying at. But at 30, she'd be like, oh, I got to get with someone. So for a hot minute, now she's ready. By 35, she's, I might want to have children now. But the problem with that, she's just elevated the chances of having birth defects. Because at 35, statistically, it's a high-risk pregnancy. I know you will know that. But you'd be like, nah, not me. I take care of my body. This is biological. Facts are the facts. Don't get mad with me. I'm just speaking that truth. If I offended you, I meant to. Because the truth offers no apology. It doesn't need to. Because if it does, then it wouldn't be the truth. I'm that dude that's going to speak the truth. You dig? So the next thing, social media validation. Eve. If you look at statistics, a lot of dudes go online to social media for educational type things. A lot of Eves go on there for comfort. They might be in a stage of depression or to get attention. And so sure, you got that simp nation that's going to give her all of the attention that she wants. And so it's kind of like blowing hot air in a balloon. Her status is inflated, but it's not her fault. It's what the systems are pushing. Huh? So she's like, I could get so and so. So it's like she needs that. It's like someone addicted to coffee. Huh? They want that caffeine, but she's getting that dopamine from the likes. And you got these cats in the simp nation. Bing, bing, bing. Oh, Mom, you look good. So she hears it so much, it becomes immune. Well, that's why I don't even tell Eve. If she look all right, man, whatever, man. Because it's beyond that. Well, and so because of that, they be like, yo, this cat right here is a little different. I remember I was working at this one joint, right? When I was still working in the system. I got a degree in computer networking and programming, right? So I was working, I don't want to say the company, but there was this bad shorty that worked right behind me at the desk. And she would always saying stuff to me. I would never say nothing. The song, Everything I Love, every dude in the joint was trying to smash her and try and get with her. Right? And they would get nervous. Even the owner of the company was intimidated. She was bad. She was like a black Angelina Jolie. Same build, all of that, right? Shorty was tight. She looked right. Right? I can't hold you. She looked right. But I'm not. Listen, man. I'm not. Listen, man. If someone doesn't want nothing to do with me, you don't want to talk to me, I don't want to talk to you more. That's the type of time I'm on. I'm always on that kind of time. So she was like, yeah, how come? Hey, you. I'm not turning around. I don't answer that, hey, you. I know she's talking to me because it's just, you know what I mean? Me and her in the office, but come on, you don't talk to me like that. Put some respect on my name, dig? And she's like, hey. She finally, say her name and tap me on the shoulders. How come you never try and talk to me? So I pause. Wait, hold on, pause. Everybody like a good story, right? So I'm giving you a story, but it's a true story. So I'm like, pause. Shorty taps me on the shoulder. How come you never try to talk to me? I said, you never try and talk to me. I came here to work. I'm doing my job. I leave. And she was like, all right, can you take me to the store? Take me to, whatever. At lunch. So I'm like, oh, okay. But I didn't tell her, okay. I said, okay, what am I getting out of that transaction? Huh? I'm just filling her out, right? And I know that's what she's doing with me. And she was like, huh? I was like, you want me to take you this kind of out of the way? Just like you would have to pay Uber, you got to pay me. Well, so I'm seeing how she reacted to that. She was like, I know, all right, no problem. So, I get it. At that time, I'm pushing the 740 BM. You understand what I'm talking about? But with the limo thing. Well, I just got back from the East Coast from Vegas. I'm pushing the 740. Yeah, I can't hold you. I smashed her in the Beamer at lunch. You dig? In the Beamer at lunch. Yeah, I don't know if that goes to say, but it's not the first time. Girls just want to have fun. Isn't that how it goes? I play my part, which was staying on my purpose, whatever. They usually choose, right? I just fall back and let them choose. It is what it is. She want to be with him. That's what it is. But I'm on my purpose. I try and tell dudes this. There was a lot of dudes around me, man. You seen these T-Doy dudes that was around me, man. Leeches. I lost a lot of rack messing with these dudes, getting dudes out of the joint, holding them down, signing as a surety. Because if I said I got your back is got. If I said I'm riding with you, I'm riding with you even after the wheels fall off, man. We getting some more wheels. We riding to the end. That's how I came up. I'm finding everybody's not like that. Matter of fact, a lot of cats is not like that today. So I had to fall back from that, man. I'm telling you this, man. Everybody in some of my voice, you got people around you. There's two types of people in the world. Either they're radiators or drains. Like a radiator, someone that's like a radiator, they radiate positive energy. They bring positive things in your life. It's just like an engine, right? If the radiator goes out, the engine's going to overheat. You're going to crack that engine, right? But a drain, but the radiator keeps everything running smooth, right? It's bringing good energy. But the drain, it just keeps taking it. It drains everything from you. A lot of negative talk, really cynical. And they just take whatever they can get. You may not even hear from them until they need something else. I know that story very well. So if you got drains in your life, extirpate them from your life. You'll be better off. And you got to deal with that without having your emotions involved. Just deal with it from a purely mathematical level. You understand what I'm talking about? The gods know what I'm talking about, man. Because I deal with math. And math is science. So everything I say is always right and exact. Next thing. So when the rules change, people move different. That's not weakness. That's adaptation. So they changed the rules. So the rules are, I don't need a man. You could be independent. If he could do it, I could do it too. You got women going into combat arms. You got women going to ranger school. You know what I mean? Women talking about going to special forces. I mean, as a woman, it's beyond me to understand why a woman would want to do these type of things because her body is designed differently. Right? I mean, we walk through swamps and all of that, man. And water that had alligators in it. A woman is built different. You understand what I'm talking about? I mean, is she really going to be out there on her, You know what I mean? Walking through a swamp? Parasites, man. You understand what I'm talking about? Manipulated mind is a terrible thing to keep. So masculinity and femininity is being reformed. What I mean by that, women are taught to be strong and independent, which traditionally was a masculine trait. Emotional availability versus emotional instability. What? A lot of people are unstable emotionally. What? They're not available emotionally because you're distracted. You're distracted with social media. You're distracted with your smartphone. The smartphone is dumbing you down. You're seeing people walking around like zombies with their head in the phone. And you people are bumping into each other now. They got their heads in their phones. So some of you get jacked. These are distractions. You're not emotionally available anymore. You're just busy on social media. Those are not real contacts. Those are not real relationships. You got people that posting fake images, 10-year-old images on social media. And when you see them in person, you be like, yo. It's short. I mean, they might be like, well, you're here now. You may as well talk to me. Yeah, I'm out of there. So those of you that do that, I would be out of there. So men are told to be soft, but then they're being judged for being soft. Men are told, yo, you're too masculine, you're toxic. Be softer. Then Eve complains about how soft he is. He's weak. They're grooming children like that from early ages. Trophies for losers now. Where they do that at. Men are very argumentative, very bitchy. Different. On a whole different type of time. Women are more masculine. They're dominant. So, and if a woman is dominant, the only type of man that she's going to attract are submissive men. And all you men that say, nah, that's, yo, shut up. You might think you're dominant. You work out, you're a little brolic. But right there, you have a weak mind, son. You got a weak mind. You're bound now. You cater. I see it all the time. I see dudes used to be coming on my platform talking about, yeah, I'm on my purpose. But he couldn't talk around his girl. His energy was different. Are you the man of the house? Or is she? See, relationship is an organization. The family unit is the smallest and oldest organization in the world. So if you want to destroy a nation, you start with the family. You destroy families, you could destroy nations. And so right now, the systems in place are doing exactly that. And they have both of you, men and women, believing that, well, this is what's best. She doesn't need me. I don't need her. Well, yo, man, I'll take her. I'll take her because no matter how bad it's getting, I ain't turning my back on Eve. You dig? You dig? I'm not with the whole, you know what I mean? Shout out to McTowell, but I ain't with that, man. Men going their own way, yeah. I'll go my own way. But yo, man, I'm gonna need Shorty right there. You dig? You dig? How you gonna, listen, man, let's just face it, guys. You're better with her and she's better with you. Bottom line. Just got to get the right one, someone with a clean mind and all of that. But these gender wars, you're being socially engineered. You're being mentally manipulated. So you're being engineered, but you're blaming each other. You're blaming the individuals instead of the system that's put this all in place. There's a system that's behind the scenes that's orchestrated all of this. And you don't see any of this. None of it. And so you believe that you really don't need a man. And he believes, okay, I'm McTowell. So what you gonna do? Go and get a trick? I'm gonna tell you what, man. I'm a different kind of dude. I'm not that dude that go to, I've never been that dude that do strip clubs and all of that. To me, that's sucker stuff. Lollipop dudes do that. And if you do that, you like tricking bread, I'm just not on that kind of time, man. I'm just not on that type of time. I could think of a million more things that I could do with that bread. And to me, that desecrates me as a man. To each man his own. Now you can say, because if you do that, you're going to try to find a way to justify it. But if you do that, make it make sense. I mean, you can do the same thing. You want to throw some bread? You like shorty right there. You know what I mean? You can do it in the privacy of your own home. You know what I mean? With your own girl. But, I mean, throwing bread like that to tricks, the rappers, ain't jacking that, man. I never quite understood it. But cats is different. They on a whole different type of time now, man. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. What are your thoughts? Do you believe that systems are in place that's orchestrating the tension, the disrespect between modern men and women? Leave your comments below. Do you believe that there's any hope for traditional relationships? Is it possible? Because let me hit you something. I met a couple virgins. In their minds, they don't have virgin minds. The system is there. It's very present. And I go to a real deep level. So sometimes when I speak from a street level because I need to reach everybody. Well, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here for everyone. The street people and the intellectuals. If I need to go to that kind of form, I'll get intellectual. But I'm hopeful for the hood. I came from the streets. You can never forget where you came from. I'm trying to get back, man. Love is love. To her and him. But everybody had to play their part. When you start acting the very instance that Eve says she's more into her masculine, what you're basically saying is you're acting more like a man. That's what you're really saying. Because the word masculinity is inclusive of manly traits. They can't rewrite the narrative. Real men won't allow it. I see these cats on their podcasts, on social media, talking about Eve, and do this and do that. But they're not offering solutions. And these same dudes, they pressing up on Eve as soon as they leave their podcast. Then you got the other groups that's saying, yo, go your own way, be totally against women. I'm not with that either. But we all have respective roles and people need to start playing their roles. I refuse to allow the system to impose its will on me. I have my own mind. I've been always a rebel. Right? I don't conform. And that's one of the worst things in the world and why the world's becoming as it is, conformity. And more your rights are being deprived away from you right before your eyes. Because conformity. You're supposed to have a right to assemble. They tell you when you could go and protest. You should have a right to bear arms. They'd say, yo, if you go to jail or prison, you can't bear it anymore. Where is that written at? The reason that they're still able to do this is because you acquiesce and you do nothing. You allow it. It's more of us than it is of these people that's rewriting narrative. Well, how many of you all heard about Trump statements against the Obamas? Think that was an isolated incident? Leave your comments below. What are your thoughts on that? Just because you ignore it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. We can't pretend something that doesn't exist that really does exist. This is Tazadoctrine's didactic empowerment. Got a topic you'd like for me to discuss? Put it below. whether secured creditors, traffic, child custody, history, religion. I'm that guy. I'm that guy that can speak from those levels. Nation of gods and earths, Nation of Islam, mainstream Islam, more in science, Islam more. Hebrew Israelite Shalom. Alabah Shem Yahweh Shabbarakatha. I'm that dude that'll speak on all of those levels. The Most High gave this to me, man. This is Tazadoctrine, man. This is science. This is mathematics. This is the truth. And when the truth comes, all false things must disappear. Turn me up so you can hear me. All you dudes, I'm going to tell you this. If you've been pressing up on Eve and playing it too close, find your purpose. It's not my job to tell you what your purpose is, but you have to have a purpose in life. Stop procrastinating. Get up and get it done. If she's lost respect for you, you might have to write that off. Stop chasing validation. And to Eve, if you're with a dude, you're with a guy, and he's just been stagnated. He's not no real leader. He doesn't know how to lead because he's a mama's boy. What? Not saying that to insult women, but a lot of men got that effeminate spirit and mindset. They're not go-getters. So you got to put a battery in his back. And the fact that you got to do that, it lowers your level of attraction. You want a real man. The system's making you think that you don't want masculinity. But when you meet a real masculine dude, you're like, ooh, girl. Yeah, you know what it is. I'm talking that talk right now, but it's the truth. You dig? This ain't no cap and nothing I'm saying. It's the truth. I speak to all communities. They want to speak on an intellectual level. Let's go. This is Tazadoctrine's didactic empowerment. Get your mind right, king. Get your mind right, queen. You only get one chance at life. But if you live it correctly, once is all you need. But remember this, I'm going to leave you with this right here. Time is a depreciating asset. You're not promised tomorrow. Don't wait until tomorrow to do what you can do today. Most people that say, I'll do it tomorrow, they end up with a lot of empty yesterdays. There's a land of the living and there's a land of the dead. There's a great gulf between those two. The bridge is love. Real love. It's how men and women, it is a must that you do that to come back together. They say love conquers all. It could conquer these systems that's controlling you subconsciously. Psychological engineering where you don't even know that you're being dealt with. In the book of Shemot, Exodus, when the Pharaoh see that the children of Israel is becoming mighty, he says, the children of Israel is becoming more and mightier than us. Come, let us deal wisely with them. Lest if a war breaks out, they join on to our enemy and rise up against us. So come, let us come up with a plan to get them up out of the land. But the same plan that the ancient Pharaoh was using is to get rid of all of the male children, not the female. Why? Because once he get rid of the males, again, sis, they can control the females. So the plan is in effect today. Get rid of this masculine dudes. Get rid of this masculine energy. Call it toxic. Call it misogynist. Get rid of it. And once we get rid of that, we can control the world. So it was with the ancient Pharaoh. So it is today. This is Tazadoctrine, didactic empowerment. But then I'm going to say shalom, peace, two fingers. And I'm going to leave that in the air. In times of peace, prepare for war. Because peace doesn't last forever.